My name's Mike Gionta. I've owned a search firm for almost 20 years. I'm in my 19th year. I opened when I was 26 years old and made a lot of mistakes, which I'm going to share with you today, so you don't have to make them. You probably recognize some that you've made already. First step. This is where most people fall apart. They never create a vision for what they want. They don't know. They're building something, but they're not sure why. The next one is, when they do, they really don't test the sincerity, meaning they think they want it. There's a bunch of mistakes I'm going to get into. I messed everything up. Again, I'm not here as the prodigal son. I'm here as the dolt who made it, and that if I can do it, anybody in this room can do it. We're going to give you a plan to do business plan building and doing it in writing. And then here's the other areas where the wheels fall off the car. Execution and follow through. Step one, creating the vision. These might sound like very basic questions. What do I want? Where do I need the business to be in 5 years from now? Where do I need my net worth? What does having X amount of revenue really mean? When you write your 10-year vision statement, 5-year, however far you choose to go out, you need to write it in the present. Meaning, if it's 2018, you need to say, I have done and I am doing. It's June 1st, 2018, and when I look back on the last 10 years, here's what I've accomplished and here's what my life looks like today. It's an incredibly powerful exercise. That statement was only one type page long, but it incorporated spiritual, personal, my relationship with my wife, my kids. It incorporated my community, and it incorporated my business. Within MRI, they have a thing where you put together peer groups, and I've been part of this since 1997, and again, coaching other owners. So one of your things as a coach is, and you heard Jeff say it this morning, is testing sincerity. Are you really serious about what you want to do? If I'm dealing with somebody that did $500,000 last year, and they say they want to be $1 million office, and I ask them, what if you did $750 next year? And they go, that'd be a pretty good year. Then $1 million ain't your goal. Now, key mistake to avoid. Picking $1 million is your number. Other mistakes to avoid. If your plan is more than 3 pages, it's too long. I've also read a lot of plans that have, I'm going to make as many placements as possible. I want to hire as much as possible next year. By the way, as many as or as much as possible, if they're in a business plan, delete them. If you don't have a hard number, you can't plan on it. Mortal sin for me, not tracking metrics. To start your plan, keep all those mistakes we talked about in the back of your mind. You have to know exactly where you're at right now. Revenues. How many interviews did you arrange this year? How many job orders have you taken this year? If you don't know, then I'm going to coach you to get an educated guess. Then you could say my revenue target is, once you've gone through all the filters, you created your vision, you tested your sincerity, this is your number. You're going to crawl over broken glass to get this. Send-outs are the sun in your planning process. Everything else, in my opinion, just mine, orbits around it. So when I'm doing a business plan, I want to determine my office size, how many new hires I need, researchers, PCs, what I want my revenues to be, if I want to add desk specialties. Every one of those questions revolves around the concept of how many interviews is this going to add to my office per week. Execution mode. Now, let's say you want to go from $500,000 to $1 million office, which is a leap, and it's achievable. If you look at technology companies, the ones in big growth modes, their revenue forecast for the first quarter is entirely different than their revenue projections in their fourth quarter because they're scaling. And that's what we're going to do. You have to build your plan to scale. Each objective in your plan should be broken down in a process where it's put in your calendar just like this. And the other thing is, most of us, how many of you carry your business plan in your head and they just float around and things collide with each other? Oh my God, yeah, I got to do that. Yeah, I got to do. If you're saying this, yeah, I got to do that, then it's in your head. Put everything on paper. You need to schedule 15 minutes each week for yourself with the door closed and your phone on Do Not Disturb. You pull out your 3-page plan. If you look at it once a week for 15 minutes and you pull out one thing you're going to work on, and that could be one of the 3 to 5 quarterly objectives, it's going to happen. Here's the key at the end of the quarter. What were my objectives? Revenue, hiring, training, whatever your objectives were. What were the results? Were you at or above, below your targets? So you missed a hiring date. What went into that? Family tragedy. There's certain things beyond our control, and there's certain things, most things are within our control. What really happened? It's okay to mess up. There's no dishonor in failure. There's only dishonor in failing to learn from the failure. So again, when you look at your failures, what did you learn? Because in implementation, there's a ton of screw-ups. And whenever you push the envelope, there's a ton of screw-ups. Just identify what they were and how they fit into how you work.